When it comes to your health, what you put in your mouth is very important. 80% of your health is directly related to what you eat. But there's another 20%. And if you don't handle that other 20%, what you put in your mouth is only going to take you so far. And the other 20%, if you don't know, is sleep, stress, and movement.
Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics. And every Monday, we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way, every single time I'm wearing a funny shirt, you'll be alerted to it.
You're the worst.
You're the worst. I'll tell you what, though, my sleep last night was the best.
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning.
I had a really good sleep last night, and I'm so glad I did because we're going diving today, or at least I'm going diving. I'm doing 2 deep dives, and one of the things when you're going diving is it's stressful. It can be stressful on your body.
Right.
And it could be very stressful on your mind.
Are you stressed?
No, I'm not stressed. But one of the things that helps with stress is sleep. And we talk about all the time that when it comes to your health, what you put in your mouth is very important. 80% of your health is directly related to what you eat. But there's another 20%. And if you don't handle that other 20%, what you put in your mouth is only going to take you so far. And the other 20%, if you don't know, is sleep, stress, and movement. We need to move every day. That doesn't mean you need to go to the gym every day for 2 hours.
Right.
That actually could bring on bad stress, going to the gym for 2 hours, because you're overstressing your body. Stress in itself is a good thing. It keeps us alert. It keeps us from putting ourselves into really bad situations and not being able to handle those situations. What we need to do is learn how to handle the stress and how to keep it where it's not affecting us in a negative way. And one way to do that is with sleep. And we do have a sponsor for today's video. It is Brooklyn Bedding. We've actually reviewed their products in the past, but we'll hear more about Brooklyn Bedding later on in the video. But I'm excited because, yeah, we have this amazing mattress and it really does help with our sleep. And now that I'm going to go diving today, I'm glad that I was able to get up after a good night's sleep. And I'm not so, oh my gosh, I didn't get enough sleep, worrying about like, do I have everything I need, and getting out to the boat and maybe forgetting something or being panicked.
Well, I mean, getting sleep is fantastic if you are doing something the next day, like you're doing something super active like you're talking about. But even if you're home, even if you are just going to work, having proper sleep makes me feel like I am strengthened for the new day, that
Right.
I'm like mentally recharged, that physically I have the stamina that I need for the next day. I mean, it's like, when we were getting terrible sleep, I always felt like I was waking up with already depleted resources. Like I was already on borrowed time.
Right.
You know? And so anything I did would like put me to tears. Like sometimes I would think about like how much laundry I had to do and all of a sudden I'm crying. You know, facing the day just felt very hopeless. And it's fixable. That's what I love about it. It's fixable.
Yeah.
We can let stress go. We can get good sleep. I can move.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Sleep doesn't just rejuvenate your mind, but there's a lot of things that are happening in your body
Yeah.
when you sleep. So if you're not getting enough sleep, good chance you're not going to lose that much fat because there's so many different things happening within our body when we go to sleep. In fact, most of your fat loss is going to occur when you sleep. A lot of people think, oh no, if my fat loss occurs when I'm going to the gym. No, our fat loss occurs when we're sleeping, when our body is repairing itself. So make sure you're getting enough sleep. We'll hear more about our sponsor later on. But I wanted to read a comment to you. I know we usually do comments from Keto on the Couch on the following week's Keto on the Couch.
You mean Keto Beyond the Couch?
Oh, Keto Beyond the Couch. One day I'm going to get it right. But already just a day or so in from Keto Beyond the Couch this week, there were a lot of great comments. And I wanted to highlight this one.
Okay.
This one was from Bless.
Hey,
and
Bless.
Bless is new to our channel.
Welcome.
So they said, hello, I'm fairly new to your channel, and I want to say how refreshing it is to see you two enjoy your cups of coffee. I'm so tired of other keto carnivore channels that are so dogmatic about coffee. I don't want to feel like I'm going to die with every sip I take.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are enjoying some coffee this morning.
We are enjoying coffee.
And it's probably not our only cup for the day.
And I'll tell you what, like whenever you get into just a dogma that really puts people down, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like I cannot handle that. When you talk about like sleep and stress and exercise, like all of those things, that 20%, like aggravation, like unnecessary aggravation put on you by people you don't even know is really useless.
Now, there are some benefits to caffeine.
Yeah.
There are even some benefits to coffee, and we're not going to get way into them. Is drinking an entire pot of coffee a day the best thing in the world for us? Probably not. But here's the way I look at it, and we talk about this a lot. Strive for perfection, know you're never going to achieve it. 90% is good enough. If the worst thing that we are doing is drinking excess coffee,
Hello.
I'm okay with that because I look at what we did to our bodies before we found keto 6 years ago.
Well, and the thing is if you have a perfection mentality, if you feel like I've got to be like that on top of that whack-a-mole of like, oh, I've completely perfected this. I've put this underground. Something else is going to spring up. Like you will always have to kind of like itch that perfection need and you're going to torture yourself.
Can I say something about being perfect?
Yeah.
You're not perfect. You're never going to be perfect.
And it's okay.
So don't worry about not being perfect. So lacrosse season starts at the end of this week for high school.
Yeah.
So if you're new here, I am a high school lacrosse official, both myself and Anthony. And if you're new here, you'll find like our schedules kind of get screwed up over the next 6 to 8 weeks because we tend to work a lot of games, like at least one high school game every single day, 6 days a week.
But we got to play for the electricity in the house.
Yeah, well,
it's just a thing.
It's something I enjoy. Talk about a stressful thing. You do get stressed when you officiate because you want to do well. You want to make the right calls, and then you add in the fact that you go into every game as an official knowing that when that game is over, there's at least 10 players, at least 2 coaches, and a whole bunch of parents that hate you.
Well, I think that as much as that, like that can't be nice. That can't be like a nice feeling.
No, but you have to learn to deal with it.
Which is really good.
Right.
Because I think that if you're like me, and I never put myself in that position where like there's a judge's ruling, like you have to make a call, you have to move forward, knowing that maybe you're not perfect, in executing that, but like I still have to make the call. If you're like me and we don't do that, I think that I go into the game of life believing that somehow I'm going to get out of this game and there's going to be an entire side of people that don't disagree with me, and then the other side will be happy with me also.
Right. And here's the thing, when I go into lacrosse season, I already know before I start every game, when the game is over, half of the people are going to love me.
Right.
And half of the people are going to hate me and think I did a horrible job. In the 10 or more years that I've been officiating lacrosse and the more than 20 years that I've been a high school official, period, I have yet to do a game where at the end of the game, everybody loved me.
Right.
And it's funny because sometimes I want to go up to a parent when they're like just yelling at me and hand them my whistle and be like, if you think you could do a better job, go ahead and do it, because we're really short on officials. And if you're looking for something that's fun, that gives you some exercise, that can give you some spare money, consider officiating.
Yeah.
Because it is a lot of fun. It's great for your body. But what I wanted to say about perfection is I go into the game and we have to meet with our players before a game. And one of the things that I say to the players in lacrosse, we line the starters up. And I always tell them, listen, here's how we're going to work this game. You guys play your game. Your coaches are going to coach your game. We're going to officiate your game. Don't do our job. We won't do your job. So in other words, don't turn and yell at me that I've missed the call. Because if I didn't make a call, it's either A, I didn't think it was a foul, or B, we didn't see it. The bottom line is there's 20 of you and there's 2 of us. But the other thing, and I tell them, like, listen, if you promise to not do that, I won't pick up a stick, take a ball, and shoot it in against your goal and score against your team.
Right.
And they usually give you a laugh. But what I tell them is, listen, we're not perfect. The day I do a perfect game, I quit because I'll never do a perfect game. And I say, listen, you guys are in school. If you get a 98 on your tests,
You're
which
happy.
means you weren't perfect, you get an A. If you have a job and you get a 95 on your job's evaluation, you probably get a raise.
Yeah.
If I miss 5 calls or screw up 5 calls out of the 200 decisions that I have to make on a field, that's an A. And I'm okay with that. But you know what? That still means I screwed up at least 5 times, but I still got an A. I want you to look at that with your eating lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that like life in general, because I think that a lot of times I make 250 calls a day easily as a wife, as a mother, as a worker, as a person that's eating, as
When
a
you drink
friend,
a cup of coffee.
As a friend, I'm making calls all day long.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to screw up. I'm going to like make a mistake with my kids. I am going to screw up at work at some point. Like there's mistakes I'm going to make. But I'm not satisfied with that. A lot of times I don't see the 95%. I'm so concentrated on that 5% error and wrongly think that somehow, someday, I'm going to not ever have that 5% again.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just not going to happen. I am never going to be perfect. And I think that this has been a good thing for you to get a hold of that truth that you will never be perfect, and it helps you to go in the rest of your life. So for somebody like me that doesn't officiate, I need to learn from your experience and be able to visualize that truth for myself, that if 5% wrong, a 10% error, that's still 90%. Focus on the majority.
Yeah. So all that to say that if you're on a keto carnivore lifestyle, and if you're watching this channel, hopefully you are eating some form of the proper human diet. If you screw up, whether you screw up on plans that you've set for yourself or you screw up on what other people think. For example, You're eating carnivore, but you're drinking 3 cups of coffee. There are some carnivores that'll tell you you're screwing up. Don't worry about it. The one thing that I always told my kids, and the one thing that we're going to tell you is, if you screw up, for example, maybe you're doing keto and somewhere you screwed up and, you fell off the wagon by accident and had something that you weren't planning on having. Just get up and keep moving on. Act like it didn't happen. Don't punish yourself for it, but learn from it. We always told our kids growing up, you can make as many mistakes as you want, but don't keep making the same mistake over and over and over again, because if you do, then you didn't learn from your mistake. It's okay to not be perfect, but learn from when you aren't perfect.
Look at this! Your first kill from the hunt.
So we got a lobster. We're gonna go ahead and cook that for part of our dinner tonight. So what we're gonna do is cut this right down the middle. I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic in here, or a lot of garlic, and then all of this chef chamois. Now we're gonna put this in the broiler for about 5 minutes or so.
Wow. This looks good and cooks up fast.
Unplanned dinner.
I'm fine with that.
We're having wings. There's a whole bunch more in the air fryer, but Rachel, it's time.
It's
time
time
to eat. It is 7:30 because I was only supposed to do 2 dives today, and I did 4 because my friend Josh was leaving, and he was like, "Hey, come on, let's do another dive," and I'm like, "Okay." Especially because next week, there's 2 reasons we can't dive next week. First of all, we're going to Utah.
Right.
And second of all, it's the boat show, so all of the deeper dives, they're all canceled because the boats for the boat show.
Everybody's going to be at the boat show.
So we got our lobster here.
That looks amazing.
So I'll show you what he looks like. This is a lot of lobster.
I'm not complaining.
Wow. I need a towel from down below you.
Thank you.
Give you more. You're more of a seafood person than me.
For the seafood lover and Rachel. Do you have another fork?
I do.
For the seafood lover and Rachel?
Okay.
Look at that big honkin' chunk of meat. I'm actually gonna separate. Thank you for knowing. We need extra butter. I'm gonna dink it.
Wait.
Dink. Wow. That tastes fancy.
Now, I'm not a seafood eater. I'm not a lobster eater.
That's okay.
But this is good. It's very sweet.
My goodness.
Hey,
That is
people always
crazy.
say, "Hey, you need to get more butter in your life."
This is how you do it. You dunk lobster in it. All about it.
So these wings, these were like a bag of frozen chicken wings. We bought at like Costco or someplace like that. I mean, they weren't cooked. It was just a big bag of frozen chicken wings, but they were so cheap. So I think it came out to be like $1.50 a pound. And we just threw them in the air fryer. And we have some of the Primal Kitchen hot sauce on here. Yeah, that was good.
It is hard to get excited about anything other than this lobster. I'm gonna be honest.
Are you ready to go diving now? You would have loved the wreck. You really would have loved the reef.
Was there a lot to see?
There was a lot to see. The first reef was shallow, between 20 and 45 feet. A giant nurse shark. And when I say giant,
Okay, I'm out.
it's a nurse shark. It's a giant catfish. And he didn't move. He was tucked down under the rocks. It was just cool to look at him. He didn't even swim out. He was just like kind of chilling there. But just so much to see on the first reef. What you would not have loved today
What?
was the boat ride out.
It looked rough. He sent me some video of going out and like, it's pretty rough today. And it's like, I thought I would have.
Nobody got sick,
I would have.
but we didn't have a lot of people on the boat. For the first trip, we had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there were 10 people on the boat for the first trip.
Wow.
It was pretty rough, like 5 to 7 foot seas going out. But once you got in the water, you were good. The wreck was beautiful. The reef for the second dive was beautiful. And then I decided to go back out, and we went onto another wreck called the Okinawa, which is a tug, and that was gorgeous.
Was it? Was it like clear?
We didn't have the greatest visibility, but it was visible enough.
Right.
And like just lots of fish all around it. And it's only 160 feet long, so we circled it like 6 times.
Wow. That's nice.
Then the second reef, we went out, And I'm like, the captain's like, there were only 3 of us diving the second reef. Only 6 people went out on the second boat trip. So there were like, only 3 of us were going to dive the second reef. The other people were like, yeah, I'm done. So we went down together as a group, and I brought my lobster stuff. No lobsters, but I really wish I would have had my spear, like my Hawaiian sling.
Was there lionfish?
So many. We didn't see one lionfish on the first reef, and then on the second reef, that's all we saw and I mean big ones, like giant lionfish.
Where you're like, where's my stuff?
But it was just a lot of fun. Had a great day, and finishing it off with some of this. Our air fryer is done, so we're gonna get some more wings, and what we'll do is we'll just continue this tomorrow. Good morning.
Good morning. I feel like we got away with something this morning.
We slept late.
We slept late, and usually midweek, that's a no-no. You're not supposed to sleep in and enjoy your sleep, but we did.
I was diving all day. You were out walking all day at the Murakami. Just a lot going on, but a lot of what has to do with our good sleep is today's sponsor.
Yes, our mattress, Brooklyn Bedding, made last night's sleep happen. Now, we were tired. We brought our tiredness to the relationship, but then we were able to have a good night's sleep. Because have you ever had a really bad mattress like we did? We were tired, but we weren't getting the sleep that we needed because we were like rolling around in lumpy holes.
Yeah, and we've talked about before that when it comes to our health, yes, what we put in our mouth is important.
It matters.
80% of your diet and your trying to get healthy does revolve around food.
Right.
But the other 20% revolves around sleep, stress, and movement. And sleep will help stress, because if you don't get good sleep, then you're going to end up with higher stress. And that's one of the things, even with diving, like you need to get a good night's sleep before you go diving so that you're not stressed and you're not panicked and you don't make silly life-threatening mistakes when you're underwater.
And we don't think about that. We think about it in terms of scuba right now because you're reading a fresh lesson that's telling you it's dangerous if you don't get good sleep, because you will not be making good decisions. But outside of the water, we may not be getting that textbook lesson, but it's still true. If we do not get good sleep, we will be walking into dangerous situations where we make bad decisions.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about today's sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. A few months ago, we actually did a review for their sister company, rvmattress.com, for our RV channel. And we loved the mattress so much that we ended up getting one for our house. And it has made a world of difference. Now, Brooklyn Bedding is an online bedding company, but what's really cool is all of their mattresses are made right here in the United States.
I love that. And the way that they come shipped is so nice. I mean, when you think about receiving a mattress into your home that would be like mailed to you, you're thinking, how in the world am I even going to get that thing through the front door? But it was no problem. It was really just like a problem-free packaging. We carried it right to where we were putting it. You just take off the plastic wrap and boom, it basically like inflates itself into the perfect mattress with a 10-year guarantee, which was really important to me.
And I know what you're thinking, probably the same thing I did. How do I go shopping for a mattress if I can't lay on it? And that's how I felt. But here's the cool thing about rvmattress.com and brooklynbedding.com. That is, you get 120 sleep night guarantee, which means you can purchase the mattress. It'll come shipped to your door, free shipping in the 48 contiguous states. And then you can try it for 120 days. So it's a really cool way to purchase a mattress. And I have to say, we are super satisfied with our mattress from brooklynbedding.com. I'm gonna leave a link for it down below, along with a discount code so that you can save some money off of getting your own.
I think our mattress is the Goldilocks mattress because it's not too hard and it's not too soft. It's just right.
What are your plans for today?
So today I have writing to do. I have coaching calls, a lot of stuff going on. In fact, that's why I felt a little bit guilty. Like I need to be up and going. Let's go. But I did my devotions this morning and then came back to bed, and it just felt so good in that bed.
So I am on my way to my lacrosse game, and it looks like it's going to be a wet one. It's kind of like intermittent raining, which is honestly annoying. We play lacrosse in the rain unless they close down the fields because they're flooded. And this is a rain where it starts raining, and then it's a little windy, and then it stops raining. And so when it stops raining, you get cold, then it starts raining again. And I would honestly rather it be just continuously raining. And I don't even mind a hard rain. Honestly, I prefer a hard rain. But it's annoying when it starts and stops and starts and stops, and I'd rather us just have the same thing all the way through. But I am going to officiate my game, and I'm going to enjoy myself because I love the game of lacrosse. And while we're going, I've got my 64-ounce Stanley, which is filled with water, and 1 serving of the Watermelon Redmond Relight. I got this at Whole Foods a couple weeks ago. They were having like a 30% off sale, and I like this because it'll keep it super cold. It's got this giant handle on top so that, I can carry it around. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. We just bought it at Whole Foods, and I really like it. I'm also going to have a little bit of my buttered maple pecan keto brick. I usually have about a quarter of one before going to a game or on my way to a game. It gives me a little bit of energy. I like having the fat, and it's super satiating, and it will get me through until I have dinner, because when I go to games, I don't want to eat a big heavy meal, and I generally don't want to eat for at least an hour or so after the game. So this will be perfect to get me through the game. So my game got canceled because the fields are underwater and the city closed the fields. So now I'm going to stop here at Sam's Club and pick up some lemonade. When we were at the Tampa RV show, Chris and Megan introduced us to this stuff, and it is amazing. Once I find it, I'll show it to you. So here it is. I'll show you the ingredients. I'm not going to try to read them all because I can't pronounce them all. But it's not super clean, but clean enough for me for a treat. Better than soda, and it's 0 total carbohydrates. It is sweetened with sucralose. The cool thing is you're going to get 24 bottles, and it's only $9. So that's 37 cents a bottle. Since the Sam's Club that's near our house doesn't keep these in stock, I'm going to buy 4 of them. But I also found this. They have a strawberry lemon one, similar ingredients, but it has 1 total carbohydrate. So I'm going to pick up 1 of these to try them. Again, I always count everything as 1 carbohydrate anyway, so it's not that big of a deal for me. But I've never tried this flavor, so we're gonna get 1. I'm also gonna grab a rotisserie chicken because they're $5, and we use this to make some chicken salad. It's honestly easier to just buy one of these rotisserie chickens for $5 and cheaper and make chicken salad than using the canned chicken or trying to cook up our own. So for dinner, we're gonna have some steak and eggs, and I've got a couple of frozen steaks here, but that's okay because we're gonna cook them in the sous vide. So I've got these 2 frozen steaks, and you can hear they are frozen. I'm gonna put them on the pan from my Innova oven, and yes, I have this lined with aluminum foil just to not have so much of a mess. I don't have to clean the pan. So we've got these, they're frozen. And now I'm going to put them in the Innova oven. So I've got my Innova preheating to 131 degrees, but I can go ahead and stick this in right away. I've got it at 100% humidity. And we're just going to open it up and put these in here. Now, as far as how long is it going to take, about an hour and a half to 2 hours because they're frozen. But honestly, it doesn't really matter to me right now because we're not going to eat for a few hours. And we're just going to stick it in there. They're going to cook. It doesn't matter if I have them in there for 2 hours, 3 hours, or 7 hours. They're not going to overcook because I've got it set to 131 degrees. That's the beauty of sous vide.
Okay, so Joe bought a rotisserie chicken from one of the big box stores. I think he went to Sam's Club. So I just find this is an easy way for us to kind of meal prep chicken salad for the week. I just tear apart this chicken. So right now, I'm just going to rip off all the meat.
What are you going to do with the skin?
You know I'm going to put it back into the air fryer, fry it up a little bit, make it nice and crisp, and eat it.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and check these steaks. They've been in here for a couple of hours, so they should be done. Let's go ahead and take a look at the temperature. Now, no, they don't look that appetizing. That's because we're sous vide, but we can fix that. So we're just gonna check the temperature right now. We are at, let's see, 126 and rising. So 127. So we're gonna pull these out and then we're gonna turn on the sear function. So while we're waiting for the oven to come up to the sear temperature, we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of seasoning on these steaks. And of course, we're gonna use the Redmond organic garlic pepper. And I'm just going to put a decent amount on them. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over.
I am going to have to switch to a bigger bowl because this chicken lived its best chicken life. I am only halfway through this rotisserie chicken and it is just like fantastic meat all the way through. I have had some rotisserie chickens that were kind of scrawny. And I was fine. I mean, we made do with what we got, but this one is gonna feed the whole family.
And it was only $4.95. Okay, the oven is up to searing temperature. We're gonna go ahead and just stick these steaks in here, and we're gonna put them right up here on the top rack. And we're just going like a minute and a half on each side. In the meantime, we're gonna make some shrimp for Rachel. So I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic into a cast iron pan. And then I've got some of these Argentinian shrimp. And we're gonna go ahead and blacken these. Now that some of that excess water has cooked off, I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this Creole seasoning on here. Now these shrimp are actually pre-cooked, so all I'm doing here is heating them up and trying to blacken them a little bit with the Creole seasoning as well as the butter.
Okay, so now that I have shredded all the chicken, I'm just going to add some celery to it.
It's about 4 stalks of celery that I just diced up.
Then I'm going to add some mayonnaise.
So that's the Chosen Foods mayo. And I have a feeling with all that chicken, you may need extra. So I've got some extra here just in case.
And then I like to season it with the Redmond seasoning salt, and then just mix it and then taste it and add more as needed.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and cut these steaks up. So these have a little bone in them, so I'm just gonna cut that out, and I'm just gonna slice these up. And look at that,
wow.
Edge to edge.
That is beautiful. Mmm. Surf and turf.
Uh-oh, there's green stuff on our plate.
How'd that get on here?
Somebody call the carnivore police.
Asparagus.
I can never open these. They're like too tight sometimes.
What a treat.
Got it.
Ed Caleb opened mine for me.
Okay, let's go ahead and try this. It's been a while since we've had asparagus.
It's good. Spoiler alert.
Put a little bit of the Chef Chamois butter on there because...
You could eat a boot with
why
that Chef
not?
Chamois butter.
Mm-hmm.
Mmm. Those shrimpies, though.
Let's try that.
Mmm. So good.
Wow.
Everything's good. I mean, it really goes together well. And I got a chicken salad meal prepped for next week.
And people say that keto isn't sustainable.
I could eat this every night.
Mm-hmm.
Could you eat this every night? I could eat this every night.
This is really good.
Mm-hmm.
The steak cooked to perfection. And by the way, if you're curious, I looked on the app. It was in the sous vide for 4.5 hours.
Because we were just doing other stuff.
Yeah, but you can't, you can see it's not overcooked, even though it was in there for 4.5 hours. It was probably ready after about 1.5 to 2 hours.
But it was ready when we were ready to attend to it, which is really nice.
That is good.
Mm-hmm.
And the shrimp, I probably should have made more shrimp, but...
Because it was perfect.
Well, you know what the nice part is? When this is all done, we're going to turn off the video now.
Yeah.
But when this is all done, we're also going to have some of our chocolate pudding that we made with the Keto Chow Core.
It's so good.
I will leave a link for that recipe video right up over Rachel's head. But it
Super
is
easy.
So good, so easy to make. All you need to be able to do is scramble eggs and have a blender.
That's a Rachel level skill.
It's super easy to make. So if you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos we have linked right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at our most recent videos I'm going to put right over here.
But whether you had this way or you had this way, don't forget to have this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way every single time we have dinner, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time.
Bye.